Today at Children's Mercy Park, it's two teams in desperate need of a win, Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. Thanks so much for joining us for USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Good afternoon and welcome live inside state-of-the-art Children's Mercy Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Today it's Swope Park Rangers hosting North Carolina FC. I am Dave Borchard alongside Doug McCloggin. Thanks so much for tuning in. And Doug, as I mentioned, these are two teams that are in desperate need of a win for different reasons. The Rangers have not won since July 17th, and North Carolina has stumbled a little bit lately as well, just 1 point in their last 3 matches. They need a win for their playoff positioning.
Yeah, for the Rangers, it's to get better and to win some games and get some points. For North Carolina, they're in the playoff hunt. They're sitting in a good position, but a good 3 points here would put them in a position where they might have a home playoff game, which I'm sure they would love to do because they have a fantastic home record.
Also fantastic on offense is North Carolina FC. They have 5 players with 6+ goals this year, and you see him right there. Robert Cristo has been red hot as of late.
Yeah, they're the #1 team, as in having so many players that scored goals. Cristo has 6 goals in his first year of the USL Championship, and he's just one of those 5 players. He scores 0.95 goals every 9 minutes. It's not a bad stat, is it?
No, one of the tops in USL. And the great offense by North Carolina means the Swope Park Rangers defense will face a big test today, and Jalen Lindsey will need to be big for the Rangers. This is a guy that was slated to feature for Sporting KC this year in the MLS level. He's been dealing with a knee injury, now back, trying to work back to full fitness.
Yeah, he's been great while he's been back, though. He had a nasty knee injury, but he's just added that experience to the back four. Added that on Wednesday. We got our first shot out since June the 8th, which is fantastic. He's going to be great for Swope Park Rangers, but he's going to be a future Sporting Kansas City player, for no question at all.
Should be a fun game to watch. And we have a lot coming up next, including the starting lineups and first kicks. Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC here on ESPN+.
Come, Tyler! Come, Tyler! Let's just be better with the ball, guys. Better with the ball. Tyler, come on.
Wearing the captain's armband, 8 goals, 3 assists this year. Really one of the best players, if not the best player all season on the Rangers, to just 21 years old. And like you said, just recently was rewarded with that MLS contract from Sporting KC.
Yeah, I might go out on the line here and say the best, definite, the best player we've had this year for the Swope Park Rangers. He's been outstanding.
When Krista was wide open on that cross a minute ago, but the cross did not find him. That would have been a great chance for the visitors. And ball spilled in front of goal, nearly a freebie there as Pulskamp unable to handle what looked like a pretty routine entry ball, but able to follow up and pounce on it just before the follow-up shot.
Yeah, maybe a slight lack of concentration there, because that shot was an easy shot for him to save, and 9 times out of 10 he's going to catch that easy. Maybe he took his eye off it because there wasn't much power on it, but fortunately was quick enough to pick up that rebound. What a ball.
Great chance here for the home side, but Harris's shot forces a kick save there by Timbakis. Yeah, that was the first great chance of the match for the home side. And like you said, what a long ball forward. I believe that was Alexander who played it up. And Harris tried the quick toe poke, but unable to get it past the goalie.
Yeah, that's why that man's got 5 assists. And I tell you what, if some of the chances would be finished, he might be on 9 or 10 assists by now. That was just a beautiful ball in behind the fullback. And the only one who could get to it first was going to be Harris every time. Unfortunately, he couldn't poke it through the legs of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, nice save by Timbakis as he was kind of left out to dry by his 2 defenders who had gotten behind there by Wilson Harris. Let's take another look. And again, it was set up here by Alexander, 5 assists on the season. And what a great touch on that. Yeah. Behind 2 defenders and just trying the quick toe poke, but it's a kick save by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the defenders were at fault there. It was just a ball that neither centre-back could get to, and it was just in a perfect position for Harris. Unfortunately, and give credit here, the keeper gave Harris no time to take a look at the goal. So good goalkeeping to get off his line and get out there so quickly to make it hard for Harris.
Chance for the visitors, just wide of goal. They nearly had the opener here in the 18th minute. Pulskamp could not get a hand on it, but fortunately he was at the right angle to force that shot just wide. Let's take another look here.
Yeah, beautiful little combination there. Iwola's shot just creeped past that far post. And I don't know if Pulskamp had it covered or not, but if he did, it was darn close.
Yeah, it looked like he may have had it covered, but man, that was a close chance for sure. As the visitors nearly went ahead just about a minute after the home side nearly went ahead. Still no score here, 19th minute at Children's Mercy Park. Dave Borchert alongside Doug McCloggin. Thanks so much. Is watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Warm day here in Kansas City, Kansas, about 85 degrees. Obviously bright sunshine bathing the field now, so be some hydration breaks during today's match. No contact there, though. The referee, Tori Penso, is letting the physical play go pretty much so far. Freeman here on the near side, again, 16 years old, starting at winger for Swope Park Rangers. Clark at 24 years old, one of the KG veterans here on the team, Doug, at 24. I think he's actually the oldest player on the field by a couple years, which is crazy.
Yeah, and he's had a little experience with, I think it was the Timbers too, so he's got a little experience under his belt, which will help. But you're right, he's only 24.
Definitely has the right build to be a center back. I mean, he looks the part. Big physical player. Hernandez sends it across. Ball not cut out great, but ends up falling to one of the teammates for North Carolina. Another fine just to slow down their advance and keep possession.
That wasn't a bad ball by Jalen Lindsay into the box. Unfortunately, I think, and here could be some of the problems they have with just that one target player, is when the ball came in, really Harris was the only one in the box. And if it doesn't land right on his feet, then there's a good chance the 4 North Carolina boys are going to be there first, and that's what happened this time.
Alexander on defense, ball sent across. This will have to be taken quickly, and it is, and a great diving save by Pulskamp. Full extension there and able to paw it out, and now the Rangers just alleviating the pressure and booting it up the field. But Pulskamp didn't do great with the pretty easy chance moments ago, did very nicely there with a much tougher chance.
That was a great effort by Miller. He's already got 9 goals and 6 assists on the season. He hit a bullet there, but very smart goalkeeper, because There's no way Paul Scant was going to catch that because it had too much power on. So the way he parried the ball away from the goal, out of danger, was excellent goalkeeping there. And he'll be glad to get that save after the kind of shaky one a few minutes before.
Clark with it, tons of time and space to Cousin, who gives it right back. They've done that here a few times in a row. Now Alexander on the near sideline for the Rangers. Back to Clark.
Again, we're just going to see that patient build-up, keeping possession until the right turn occurs. And here's it is. You turn and now you attack the defense.
Nice ball from Freeman to Alexander. Alexander sends it across. Don't know if Harris was trying to dummy that or if he just missed it. Now Hernandez with it. Back to Jalen Lindsey. Lindsey's going to put it in the mixer, sending it across, but 5 white jerseys and just Wilson Harris there is the only target for the home side. And North Carolina able to clear it out of danger.
Yeah, some good play by Swope Park Rangers. They just knocked it around, kind of lulled you to sleep, and then all of a sudden, penetrating pass finds Freeman, who can turn, and then he's running at the back four, penetrate, finding Alexander, and then another beautiful ball in the box, which again wasn't too far from Harris. So, and you'll see here, they'll just patiently knock it around until that opportunity comes up. And then when they can penetrate the lines, that's when they'll change the pace of the rhythm of the game.
Clark with time and space. They've been letting him just keep possession pretty much at will.
Carolina, they're quite happy to be patient on the defense too and try and fill all those gaps and not allow those penetrating passes.
Yep, they're not exactly high pressing the home side, but haven't allowed many good chances here in the first 22 minutes. Carolina looking to work quickly the other way, some time and space here, but the ball cut out nicely by Jalen Lindsey. Tons of space here for Cousin, looking for Alexander on the near sideline, the playmaker for the Swope Park Rangers. Playing it forward to Freeman. Freeman surveying his options here on the edge of the box, tries to go around. Freeman knocked down in the box, no call. Definitely some contact there. Long range shot by Cousin, handled nicely by the keeper. It looked like a ball that Tambakis could have easily muffed, but he comes up with that bouncing knuckle shot. But what do you think about the no call there on the contact, Doug?
Well, some great skill by Tyler Freeman, but unfortunately you're playing with the big boys now. That's just a little nudge. You're not going to get a PK call on that. But some good little skill and good to see him taking on fullbacks and not being afraid to get in behind and create that chaos.
Pretty good stuff there by the Swope Park Rangers, but Tambakis able to make a nice catch on the long-range shot by Cousin.
Early. Come on, tight. There you go.
Rangers also, as you mentioned, with Carolina willing to be patient defensively. Rangers as well.
You can hear Nagamura here giving instructions to Tyler Freeman and to Wilson Harris here on what to do, you know, close it down, get the head down, cut the line off. And so a lot of work being done here by the forwards on defense, which is great to see.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been a leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. And North Carolina, for the moment, just happy to keep possession here right around midfield, passing along the back line. No big rush or sense of urgency for the visitors. Both teams pretty compact defensively. It's going to be tough to break down either side here unless this game opens up a little bit.
This is where North Carolina may have that slight advantage because you're playing against a lot of young kids here that they've got to be reminded every time to get out there and put pressure and cut off lines and tuck in and not allow splits. And that's where the young experience might make a few little errors, and it's whether North Carolina can take advantage of that. you would assume you would see more errors on the Swope Park Rangers side than the more experienced North Carolina. But I guess we shall see.
Trying to play Cristo. He is dispossessed, but North Carolina quickly wins it back.
He's a big boy, but Clark's been taking care of him very well.
I was going to say, Cristo's drawing a lot of the attention and the focus for sure for the Rangers defensively. DJ Taylor unable to get to that one.
It's another turnover by North Carolina, but what you've got to do there is give credit to Swope Park Rangers, because they just defended extremely well for 2 or 3 minutes and forced the error there, and now they get their chance to possess and maybe run the North Carolina FC boys around.
Alexander will take this free kick for the Swope Park Rangers. Just going to play it back to Clark, his center back teammate.
Graham, settle down, just connect pass. Don't push. Come on, Cruz, get in the middle.
Here, Dave Sarakin, the coach from North Carolina, saying just settle down, connect some passes. Obviously, a few turnovers here in the last couple minutes for the visitors.
Next pass.
Alexander may have been stepped on there. Looks like he'll be all right.
We're right back in here, guys. We're right back in here, Blue. Somewhere close to you.
So, Doug, 27 minutes here gone by. Is this sort of what you've expected so far? Or anything you've seen here that surprised you?
No, not really. I mean, it's a warm day, so I can understand, like, the pace of the game at times is slow, but it's also, both teams are concentrating heavily on defense here, and offensively, both teams have to work on being patient and waiting for that right time to break down the opposition. And so it's a very strategic game here of knocking the ball around and having long periods of possession. Now the better team's going to be, is it possession for the sake of possession or possession with a purpose? If they can find a purpose to penetrate and playing through the lines, they'll create the opportunities. And right now, I think the team that's in this situation right now, the team that's going to be more effective is going to get more opportunities, and hopefully can put those opportunities in the back of the net.
Well, this seems like the kind of game that one goal could really open things up, and both teams have to come out of their shells a little bit.
Yeah, and as a spectator, that's probably kind of what you want. There's at least one team to break through, because it, like you say, it's going to open up the other team a little bit more.
Time and space here for the visitors, and he is onside, I think, but the flag goes up late. That was very close. Cristo would have had a 1v1 straight at goal against Pulskamp, but that was very close there with the offside flag going up, although Cristo not really arguing.
No, he was definitely offside. I think the ball, if it just could have come in a little bit quicker, because he had to stop his run a couple of times, and by the time he'd stopped it second time, Swope Park Rangers centre-backs just stepped up, and yeah, ended up being a couple yards offside. And
I thought Alexander may have held him on. You're right, he was definitely off right there against the centre-backs. Dangerous spot, but cleared out by Carolina. But yeah, you can usually tell if the player's not going to argue anything, it's probably the right call, because players like to complain about calls. Here's Hernandez thinking about a long-range shot, hits it well, just wide of goal. A pretty good hammer into that from long range did the captain, Felipe Hernandez.
Yeah, keeper was scrambling across there, but in the end, the keeper pulled his hands away, knew it was missing, but definitely a good effort.
Be the hydration break we mentioned. We'll probably see this around the 30th minute of each half, as it is a pretty warm day here in Kansas City, Kansas. About 85 degrees, heat index more like 90. And be sure to tune into ESPN3 on September 18th, 7 p.m. Central Time, for a potential Eastern Conference playoff preview. One of the top defenses in the league, St. Louis FC, welcomes high-powered New York Red Bulls 2 to the Lou. You can see it all again September 18th, 7 p.m. Central Time during Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN3. Of course, St. Louis is going to be coming into Major League Soccer soon. We were talking before the broadcast that that's going to be quite a treat for soccer fans here in Kansas City, the first real natural geographic rivalry for Sporting KC.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, because they had, was it Rivalry Week a couple of weeks ago, and we were playing Minnesota. And
right.
I mean, I get it, Minnesota's probably the closest to us, but that's not a real rivalry. You bring in St. Louis, and now we got a full-blooded rivalry that's going to be just fantastic. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Boy, and I'll tell you, if before that happens, obviously St. Louis has developed into a nice rival for the Rangers as well. So there's been some heated games between those two sides. And this more what we're seeing today, more of a young rivalry, obviously just getting started with Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. Again, North Carolina won the matchup earlier this year 2-0. And Swope Park Rangers looking for a little bit of payback here today at Children's Mercy Park. And what do you think the messaging is now from Paulo Nagamura on the home side as he's seen the first half hour here? What do you think his message, and what tweaks may he be thinking about right now?
Well, I think he's probably talking about what they've been doing well, which is defensively, collectively, they've been a good unit, been a low block, hard to penetrate. They need to continue that. 1 or 2 mistakes in that, and they get penetrated, and there's going to be opportunities for Carolina. And then on the other end, it's the same game. Keep the ball as much as you can, work it around, move off the ball, switch the point of attack, find if you can play between lines, and when you can, then let's go at the opponents, and then let's get in behind them and create some opportunities. So I think you'll be happy with the way it's been so far. And I think he'd want to come into halftime definitely with no goals against, that's for sure. The longer they stay in this, I think the better they will be off.
And the Rangers coming off their first shutout in a long time in that last game against Charleston. And yeah, that would certainly be 3 good halves in a row of defensive soccer if they can go into the midway point at a no goals allowed. Of course, even better would be if they could find the back of the net themselves. Ball miss hit there. It'll go back to the home side on a throw in, pretty much right in midfield. Lindsay to take this for the Rangers.
We were talking about Lindsay before the game, and just, if you notice there on that header, his body position was absolutely brilliant, and Steve Miller could not get up in the air because Jalen Lindsay put his body in the correct position only to win the ball in the air, and that's just the experience, which again, he's only, what, 19 years old. That's the experience he's picking up, and he is, like I said, going to be a player of the future. Very, very smart, very strong, very quick, and good on the ball.
He's a guy that I know a lot of fans of Sporting KC have thought he's a contender to push Graham Zusi for a starting spot. And like you said, certainly long term, he looks like he's the future of that position here in Kansas City. But what have you seen from Jalen Lindsay? He's a guy that has played some at the next level in Major League Soccer. What have you seen from him in terms of strengths, weaknesses, and things he needs to improve on as he continues to grow as a player?
Well, right now, the biggest thing he needs to work on is just getting minutes under his belt. And he's been out all season. This is maybe his 4th or 5th game back. So there's no fitness like game fitness. But, you know, we're 4 or 5 games back in, and you can see how comfortable he is on the ball. You can see some of the runs he's made from the back, and his timing of those runs of going at the right time have been brilliant. So he's got everything there. I think it's just a case of time to get his fitness back, to get into the way of feeling again, playing a few more games, and I think he's going to be fine. He's got a lot of talents that are going to take him far in this game.
Hernandez has it poked away. The Rangers are going to get a goal. It's likely that Alexander right here or Felipe Hernandez will have a role in making that happen. Hussein gets it in the center of the park. 360 turn dispossessed. No foul is given.
It was a good turn by Hussein, but unfortunately he showed the ball too much, and a very good slide tackle there. No foul whatsoever. But just a little bit of inexperience showing the ball to the opposition when he turned, and that's why he got poked away.
How about that pass on the bike from Alexander to Freeman? Pretty amazing on-target pass for being a backwards, upside-down kick, but now North Carolina able to win back possession. Now in the center circle.
Be ready, DJ.
Pretty good stuff here by the visitors in this build-up.
Oh, Felipe!
Bristows lurking there in the penalty area. Of course, he'd be a target as Carolina works their way closer to goal. Slowing down their attack a little bit as the Rangers have done a good job getting organized defensively. Hernandez doesn't intercept it, but able to cause the turnover. Can the Rangers move quickly? It looks like they're going to be fine with slowing themselves down as well. So again, it's not necessarily a fast-paced game at the moment. Both teams pretty content just to be organized, play defense, and see if they can take a moment to surprise their opponents.
Yeah, the problem is that they want the ball deep in their own third, and you'd love them to go quick, but if you're going quick, it's 1 against 4. It's just Harris all there by himself, so well, that's a great ball. Here's a chance for Harris here.
Freeman runs onto it, hits it well, and it's a fingertip save. What a save by Tambakis, and what a great strike by Tyler Freeman. I thought he had the back of the net there.
Yeah, that was a great effort. He knew exactly what he was doing. He took it with the inside of his foot, trying to curl it towards that far post. And fingertips from the goalie there kept him from scoring his 2nd goal of the season. But like I said there, what they did is they built up with possession through several passes. And when you do that, you have an opportunity to move your whole offense forward. And therefore, they had numbers in that attack there, as opposed to when they got the turnover. If you'd have gone, it'd have been 1 against 5 or 6. And that would be obviously not a great situation for the Rangers. But the patience of building it up, getting numbers forward, and then penetrating those lines that they just did create a very good opportunity.
Hussein takes the corner kick towards the back post. Ball bounces through the area.
Help him, Trey. Help him, Trey.
Fox surveying his options. Trying to see if he can put the ball into a dangerous spot. Now back for Alexander, who loops it across. Sent towards the center of the goal, and Harris barely misses it. Man, a little bit of contact there. North Carolina calling for a foul. No foul is given, and Harris was just inches away from heading that ball in the back of the net. Now a turnover. It's Hernandez. Hernandez teeing up a long-range shot. It's blocked. Looks like that's going to stay in play and roll out for a throw-in.
Well, what a great attempt there, because I thought Alec had about 3 chances to cross it and turn them all down. Then got it to Alexander. It's a beautiful ball. Great ball across the face of the goal, and unfortunately, Harris was maybe an inch away from that. He's looking to say that he was fouled, but the defender was just in the right position, and Harris couldn't get around him. But that would have been an absolutely beautiful goal if it did go in.
Well, I'll tell you, Clark's header across nearly trickled in as well, so it was nearly a header in by Harris, who just barely missed, and then Clark's header of his own almost found that back post. Definitely dangerous moments there for North Carolina defensively. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your clubs on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Nearing halftime here in Kansas City. 39 minutes gone, nearly 39 minutes gone. Will either side get the opener here before the intermission?
Well, if you're going to pick one side to do it, it would be the Rangers. They've created a couple opportunities in the last couple minutes. And if it wasn't for fantastic goalkeeping or Wilson Harris being short by half an inch, then they could have scored 2 incredibly beautiful goals. There's a foul there by Iwola.
Alexander goes down to the ground, but it looks like he'll be fine. Quickly taking the free kick here for the Rangers.
Get back. Away. Tuck.
Brad with it for the home side. Nice ball forward for Lindsay. Can he get there? He is able to keep it in play. Now Lindsay playing it back to Hernandez. Good first touch.
No foul, Steven.
It does look like he play it back. Now rounds the defender. Hernandez sending it across, but overstruck. Freeman able to keep it in, but possession goes back to North Carolina. Clark needs to be careful here. He goes down and the foul is given.
When we keep it, come on, keep going, keep going.
Christo thought he might have a breakaway opportunity, but definitely a little bit of a grab there and tugged Clark down to the ground. You think this was a good call or is it a little bit soft?
Yeah, I mean, it was a definite call because he clipped his leg and put his hand on his shoulder, but I don't know with Christo because it looked like Clark may have been kind of losing his balance a little bit anyway. So without touching him and clipping him, he may have got an opportunity to get through there, but maybe not to. But just going up the other end, again, it was Rad penetrating the midfielder and finding the run again from Jalen Lindsay, who went deep from that right back position that got him in behind. So, and here's another run from the fullback deep in behind.
Boy, and Alexander again, the danger man, has had a big game so far and again causing trouble. But North Carolina able to get the ball out of a dangerous spot.
Yeah, Freeman's frustrated there because if he would have got the ball exactly where he wanted it, he would have had a great opportunity to go on goal again. But unfortunately, it was like a yard ahead and he just couldn't get control of it.
Again, Alexander with a nice look there. He's able to, I thought he was going to get it back and go at goal. Instead, it's North Carolina now.
Behind the ball, side, good.
Nearing halftime here in Kansas City, no score thus far. Swope Park Rangers hosting North Carolina FC. Thanks so much for tuning in here to USL Soccer on ESPN+. Rangers entering 3-16-7, so outside of the playoff picture, but coming off a good result in their last match. North Carolina FC 13-7-8 entering action today. In a good spot for the postseason play, but only 1 point for North Carolina in their last 3 matches. North Carolina needing a moment of magic here as this Rangers defense has been tough to break down here in the first half.
This is where the patience on defense is extremely important. We're coming into the last 2.5 minutes of the half. Obviously, North Carolina's keeping possession and moving the ball around and changing directions. And so Swope Park Rangers defensively have to be keyed in here. No silly mistakes, no letting down your assignments here. Get to the half time.
Two minutes left, plus a little bit of stoppage time. I don't think there'll be a ton, but there was a hydration break in the 30th minute. Ball sent across. Wide open man at the back post, but Lindsay gets credit for blocking that header that looked like it was going to be directed on frame.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew too much about it, but good positioning. He's in the way of the header, and that, I'm assuming, was probably going back. Might have caught his arm, but there's definitely no handball there. But just good positioning by Lindsay to be going towards the header at the time and obviously getting in the way and blocking that headed shot there.
We're hearing there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half.
This is
about 3 minutes left.
Very, very important time here defensively for the Rangers. Cannot give anything away here.
Good service right in front of goal, and Pulskamp got a hand to it and able to punch it out. It's some pretty heavy traffic there right in front of goal. Give the Rangers goalkeeper credit for working through that and able to get the ball out of a very dangerous spot, as that was a great corner kick by the visitors. But still work to do for the home side as the ball right here on the edge of the attacking third. Ball sent into the mixer, headed over the end line. It'll be another corner kick for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, I think Clark's a little disappointed because that was a high header. He could have actually left that and that would have been a goal kick, but I don't think anybody told him. So, you know, as a good defender, you go play the ball, and he played it. And it gives a corner kick opportunity to North Carolina. Hopefully for Rangers' sake, nothing comes from this, but could have quite easily been left and gone for a goal kick.
Here the official announcement there. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Another great service across, and again, a nice punch by Pulskamp. This ball is put pretty much right in front of goal at the edge of the 6-yard box. Really low line drive service there. 2 in the last couple minutes for North Carolina. Now again, ball in a dangerous spot, edge of the box. Long range shot here is blocked. Harris tried to get to that one. Instead, it's harmlessly back to the goalkeeper, Tambakis. There's about a minute left here or so in the first half. Lindsay backpedaling, able to head it up. Foul is given there. It'll go back to the home side here with just about a minute or so left here in the first 45.
Smart play by Lepley there. All he did was get his body in between. I think that was Miller, and as soon as he got touched, fell over, took a foul. He had to run some time off the clock here and should be able to get into half-time. And I think Paolo Nagamura will be very, very happy with his performance from the Rangers, with also an opportunity of maybe scoring a couple of goals. So coming in 0-0, he'll definitely be happy. I'm sure North Carolina will be okay at 0-0, but I'm sure they're going to want to come out and get 3 points today from the Rangers, who are positioned in 18th place. So they've got to be coming into this game thinking, here's an opportunity to take 3 points on the road.
Tori Penstow blows her whistle, and we have reached halfway point here at Children's Mercy Park. No score. Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. And like you said, Doug, this is a first half that I think the home side and Coach Paolo Nagamura will be happy with. Now 3 straight halves of soccer for the Swope Park Rangers without allowing a goal. They've been very good defensively and have still created a couple pretty good chances as well.
Yeah, they've done very well on the ball. Defensively, they've been very, very well organized. And like you said, they've had a couple of very good opportunities. And if it wasn't for a couple of excellent saves by the goalkeeper and maybe a ball just being a little bit too high for Harris, they could be in the lead right now.
All right, we will step aside, but lots of good stuff coming up on our halftime show, including a feature with Sporting KC multi-purpose man Jimmy Madrand, a defender, midfielder, forward. He can star all over the field for Sporting KC, so that's coming up. We'll also look at the stats, standings, lots of stuff to come at the halftime show. Again, no score at the midway point. Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC as you are watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Welcome back here inside Children's Mercy Park. No score at halftime. Swope Park Rangers hosting North Carolina FC. Battle of two teams that are really desperate for a win. We'll see if either can find that crucial goal in the second half. Well, right now, let's take a look at Sporting Kansas City, the MLS sister club of the Swope Park Rangers. And Jimmy Medranda, big personality, midfielder, defender, forward. He can play all over the place for Sporting KC. And recently, the SKC crew had a chance to catch up with Jimmy and find out what his crib's all about. Let's take a look.
Guys, this is my kitchen. I don't touch much my kitchen, but sometimes I do a really good Colombian coffee and sometimes a cappuccino. This is my living room. It's a little bit contemporary style. It's where I spend mostly the time at home. It's where I rest and watch some movies and TV. Let's go check out my balcony. This is my balcony. I just come here with my friends when they come to visit me and just talk and enjoy from the view. This is my guest bedroom. I want to show my paintings I did. So I did this when I was injured. I have a lot of time free and I just find a way to keep my mind busy and do something. Okay, thank you for coming, but now it's time to go.
So awesome there, Jimmy Medranda, fun personality, and man, what a cool location in downtown Kansas City. And how about his skill as an artist? I didn't know that about Jimmy. He's had some injury issues, unfortunately, but using that and tapping into his creative side, good stuff there on a new edition of Sporting Cribs. All right, we'll take a timeout again. No score at halftime. Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. When we come back, we'll take a look at the USL standings. We'll take a look at the stats from the first half and look at some of the news from around the league. Again, no score, Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. You're watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+.
Solomon Asante does it again! Mr. Reliable from the spot. Asante does it again!
As Asante steals it and just puts it into the back of the net.
Sam DaCosta. The attempted an amazing goal! Or maybe a goal of the year candidate from Rodrigo DaCosta.
This side as well.
It's a good point. Let's wait and see if they do.
As Kamara absolutely flies past Tete for pace. Here's Kamara! And a brilliant save from Cody Mizell. Mohamed Kamara is causing problems.
Mikey Rowe now. Rowe takes it on, and it's in! What a strike! And Tormenta, they strike first! Ontivero. Silva will have a hit! Oh, good save by Majimadu. Torre will shoot. Oh. He will score. Javon Torre. That's the day that you walked in. Oh, something. Something's done it. Oh my goodness. Lubin, what a save. Outstanding individual effort.
man, some amazing goals there in the highlight reel. Still looking for the first of the match here at Children's Mercy Park. No score at halftime. Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. Thanks so much for tuning in here on ESPN+. Dave Borchard here alongside Doug McCloggin. And we'll take a look at the standings here in USL with just a few games left in the regular season. You can see a battle pretty deadlocked at the top of the conference there as New York has a 3-point lead, but a couple games in hand for Indy, who's right behind them. Tampa Bay also just a couple points back with the game in hand, so pretty even matchup in North Carolina there in a pretty good spot in terms of the playoff picture on that side of the bracket in the USL. And of course the Rangers there, the home side today, having a rough season, just 3 wins in 26 games thus far, but having a little momentum right now, coming off a result and a good first half here tonight at Children's Mercy Park. Let's take a look at the first half stats from tonight. And obviously some chances for each side. Doug, anything jump off the page to you in terms of the first half stats?
Well, nothing massive, but possession-wise, Swope Park Rangers has slightly had more possession. And I think with the possession, they've created more opportunities. 6 shots against 5, and like I said, 3 on target and 2 on target for North Carolina. But probably better opportunities, I believe, for the Rangers than what Carolina has had so far.
Pretty even half, and I think that plays out in the stats, and no score at the intermission. Only a couple home games left for the Swope Park Rangers, so definitely encourage you to get out here September 30th against Birmingham, 7 p.m. start. And then the final home game of the year, October 8th against the Ottawa Fury. Obviously great family-friendly soccer environment here for the Swope Park Rangers. Hope you can come out to one of those last couple home games of the year. And again, only 2 remaining. Both 7 o'clock Central Time starts September 30th and October 8th. Let's take a look at what's happening around USL, and how about San Diego adding a couple very experienced executives, including Pete Thureson, who has experience with the Hawks and the Clippers in the NBA. San Diego is really adding some talent there. Solomon Asante voted Player of the Month. We saw some of his highlights just a few minutes ago for Phoenix. And you can enter for a chance to win your favorite culture collection design at USLchampionship.com. Doug, did you see the alternate jersey for the Rangers? Had Hat Trick Harry on it, the Sasquatch. I thought that was a really cool look.
Yeah, I did. I was kind of just like you, hoping they might be wearing those today, but unfortunately, but they were cool. I really liked them.
All right, let's take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll talk second half strategy and kickoff just about 4 minutes away. It's coming up soon. No scores, Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC at the break. And you are watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Welcome back live inside Children's Mercy Park. It's a beautiful fall day, kind of end of summer weather here, about 85 degrees, no score, Swope Park Rangers and North Carolina FC. As we get ready for the start of the second half, both sides looking for that first goal that may be the game winner tonight, and we'll take a look at the first half highlights. And no score, but it wasn't for a shortage of chances here. There's a good chance early for the Rangers. Harris shot from a tight angle, goes just wide. That chance for North Carolina spilled initially by the goalkeeper, who's able to fall on it before any real danger, and a real good chance here for the home side.
Yeah, great opportunity. Good goalkeeping though. In the end, very good goalkeeping.
Good goalkeeping here as well. This was one of the best chances for Carolina, and a much tougher chance for the goalkeeper Pulskamp, and he made a diving save. Hernandez with a long-range knuckler went just wide of goal, and another good chance here for the home side. Ball headed across, barely missed by Harris, almost trickled in the backside. And a couple corner kicks late as well caused some danger here for North Carolina. 2 back-to-back. And a good job by Pulskamp, able to punch the ball to danger. You could see the celebration there as he was able to keep the clean sheet in the first half. Doug, halftime adjustments, what do you think either coach might do, or do you think we'll see, again, a defensive mindset, at least here in the early stages of half number 2?
Yeah, I think you're going to see more of the same. I think you're going to see the patience on the ball. You're going to see both teams sitting in behind the ball, being organized. And both teams are going to hope that the defense will make a slight error. They'll penetrate, take advantage of it, and then the biggest thing is who's going to finish the chances. There's not been a lot of chances, but that team that's going to take advantage of the 1 or 2 chances they might get in the second half is probably going to win this game.
Be interesting to see. If we've talked about the goal would certainly open things up. As the longer this game goes on 0-0, you wonder if either team really comes out of their shell a little bit more once we get to the 60th minute or the 70th minute. We'll see how that plays out. Rangers will be attacking into the shade here at the south end of the stadium here in half number 2. So they'll be defending with the sun in their face. We'll see if that makes any difference as the sun's starting to go down a little bit here over at Children's Mercy Park. State-of-the-art venue here in Kansas City, Kansas, and we are underway here in the second half. Thanks so much for tuning in here on ESPN+. Pretty even first half, as we talked about in the stats, both sides with a couple chances. A couple big saves, though, by each goalkeeper, able to keep things level at 0-0 here at the break. We'll see which team has the first goal coming for them here in half number 2. Again, the Rangers have not won a game since July 17th, but coming off a tie in their last game. North Carolina, 13 wins on the season, having a better season, but only 1 point in their last 3 games. So 2 teams skidding a little bit at the moment that could certainly use 3 points here today. Couple guys bunched around the ball. It's Harris trying to come up with some pushing and shoving, and the foul goes against the defender. Like a 50-50 ball there, and it's the Carolina player that looks to be down and injured. Tough call for the referee, Doug. It looked like 2 guys really pushing and shoving.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's just 2 players battling to get their bodies in between each other to get to the ball, and I think his knee may have came down and hit him in the forehead. Pure accident. But yeah, I think he took a good old knee to the head.
Well, I'll tell you, I see it all the time, even watching my son's under-10 soccer, how physical soccer is played in the United States, and like compared to when I was a kid, where it wasn't as much. You know, a lot of it was the beautiful game, and now it's just a really physical brand of soccer, especially in the United States, I think, and we just saw there. I mean, there's a lot of pushing and shoving and leaning that's just never called.
Yeah, soccer is actually a very physical game. It doesn't help when we've got players that roll around and pretend they're injured all the time, but
right.
It really is a physical and a tough game, and yeah, we've seen some of that today, and you see it in youth games now. Just people are getting stronger and fitter, and yeah, I mean, other than it is a contact sport, it really is, and we'll see some of that, I'm sure, coming into the later minutes of this game too.
Well, to your point, one of my favorite things about American soccer is that there's not as much flopping and diving around, you know, and that's one of the things I really like. You know, you watch some leagues in South America or whatever country you want to point to, and there's some dramatics and there's some acting, but you don't get near as much of that in the States, which is nice.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And, it's hard for me to defend the game of soccer when I've got all my non-soccer fans saying, yeah, but look at this guy flopping here and flopping there, and they didn't even get touched. And so it's hard to defend the game that way, but like I said, it is a physical game, and these players are strong on the ball.
This could be a chance here for the home side. Kuzain playing it back across, looking for Hernandez with the pass cut out.
Yeah, that's disappointing because it was kind of like a 6-on-5, a great opportunity to move the ball and create some opportunities, and Kuzain unfortunately wasted the opportunity.
Nice job there by Alexander to cut out what could have been a potential danger, and now Freeman streaking up the field. Alexander beside him. Freeman setting up his shot. There's some contact at the edge of the box. Could have been a penalty call, but no foul is given. But Freeman not really up in arms about it. I wonder if he got caught his own feet there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was losing balance or whether he got a little nudge, but it looked like there could have been a possibility for PK, but you're right, he's not complaining. So maybe he just lost control of his body a little bit there.
So Doug, you had a great career. You played a lot of games. Did you ever embellish a little bit? Have you ever been known to flop, or were you a strict no flop guy?
No comment.
Okay.
Let's say this, I got fouled a lot, and I did fall over a lot, but I swear I only fell over because I was tripped.
Okay, all right.
I've got some friends that might tell you differently, so...
No score here, 49 minutes gone at Children's Mercy Park. First goal can really open it up, and Lindsay, bad giveaway there in a dangerous spot now, and now North Carolina trying to get numbers forward. Lindsay, though, able to win it back, make up for that mistake a moment ago. Hernandez, nice job keeping possession. Referee says play on despite the foul. Now Kuzain with it for the home side. Kuzain, some good skill here, dribbling through the defense, taking on 7 defenders by himself, and the foul is given late. Nice job by Kuzain, earning a free kick from a dangerous spot on the field.
Yeah, he really did well because he had no help whatsoever. It was 1 against like 6, and he did well. And the foul came a little earlier, and it wasn't necessarily at the end of the play. There's the pulling of the shirt, but did very well to keep the ball, kept it away from defenders, and we got a foul just outside the top of the box that could be extremely dangerous with people like Hernandez and Kuzain, who are very, very good on set pieces.
That's exactly who I thought it would be, Hernandez and Kuzain, and it looks like those two will be over this one, as well as Tucker Lepley is in the area, but I agree with you. I think it would be Kuzain or Hernandez on this, and certainly from this spot on the field, this is a goal-scoring opportunity for the home side, no doubt about it. Could also choose to chip it over the top and look for a header in the box, but I think they may just take a crack at goal here.
I think Lepley's in it because of his left foot, just to give the appearance that we could be hitting this with the left, but I think, I don't know, it's hard to tell if it's Hernandez or Kuzain. I think it might be Kuzain.
Lepley runs over it. It is a left footer from Kuzain, topped over the bar by Timbakis. Didn't feel like he could catch that one cleanly, and probably a safe move just to tap it over the bar, but Kuzain struck that pretty well.
Yeah, it was a good effort. It didn't have a lot of pace on it, but I think the keeper just thought, I'm going to play it safe here, get my 2 hands to the ball and just parry it over the bar. I'm not going to try and catch this.
I'm sure Kuzain would have preferred to put that towards the corner. Instead, a kind of center goal there made it a pretty routine save there for Timbakis.
He had a bit of dip and a bit of knuckling going on there, so not an easy ball to handle. So good goalkeeping there.
Nice corner kick by Kuzain, and the header goes just high by Clark. That was the best scoring chance of the match for the home side, and what great service by Kuzain, but Clark unable to put that header on target.
Yeah, very good effort, but you know he's going to want that one back. Not going to get too many of those opportunities. His timing right was beautiful, got right on top of the ball, and then just his final timing, he flicked the neck, and yeah, he just flicked his neck at it and did not catch it right.
Boy, Clark split 3 defenders there. Not great marking by North Carolina. And like you said, Clark's going to want that one back for sure. That was one he would finish most of the time. Now a chance for the visitors on the break.
It's out.
Looks like that may have rolled over the end line, and it did, as it was an attempted cross by North Carolina, and pretty good defense there by Clark to deflect the ball, but it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, so just going back to that other end opportunity for Clark. North Carolina was playing that zonal marking, and that's the problem with zonal marking. When you've got someone who's coming in at pace and who happens to come in between the gaps and times it right, then it's really hard to defend. And Clark really should have done better, and I know he'll be disappointed. But here's an opportunity at the other end now for Carolina.
Header just high. Rangers doing that zonal marking as well on that one. And, you know, for you as a coach, Doug, we'll take another look here. Pretty good service, pretty well-struck header, but just goes over the top. I think the goalie probably had it covered.
Yeah.
What, you know, as a coach, what do you prefer to teach? Do you prefer man marking, zone marking? Obviously, pros and cons of both, but what do you like to teach?
I actually do both. I will zone about 3 of my players, so front post, top of the 6-yard box. I'll put someone on the post, and then I'll man-to-man 4 or 5 at the top of the box. So just a combination of zone and man. But a lot of teams are now going to that zone, and they'll put 9 or 10 people in the box. And, you know, it is effective, but like I said, the weakness is if someone's gathered some pace and that ball lands in between the zone and no one attacks it, then that's a great opportunity, and that's just what Clark had right there. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get over it to finish it.
Yeah, it's funny, because if you're a fan watching at home, you're just thinking, what are they doing there? Like, Clark's running in untouched for a free header, but there is some strategy there. It's not just bad defending.
Yeah, there is absolute strategy, and like I say, you have an area you cover, and you've got to attack that area. And North Carolina defenders, they didn't really attack the area that ball went in. So there are areas where it can go wrong, put it like that. But then again, man-to-man marking, if you lose your man or you trip, then that's a golden opportunity with nobody on you too. So there's weaknesses on both areas. That's why I like to mix the two.
Rangers had slightly more possession in the first half. They've had almost all the possession here in the first 10 minutes of the second half, so we'll see if that continues to play out. Both sides looking for that drought-breaking goal here, as we haven't had one find the back of the net yet here in the first 55.
And Swope, it seems like they're creating a lot of opportunities through the fullbacks. They'll play the ball from that centre-back position, and the right-back or left-back's making a deep run forward. And they've penetrated the midfield of North Carolina a few times. We just saw it down there, but unfortunately the pass just went too far and went out of bounds. But they're having a little bit of success getting Alexander and Lindsay involved in the offense here.
Great ball. It's an offside ball, though. Good idea by North Carolina, but just a hair offside. Go back to Swope Park Rangers.
But again, good defending there by the Rangers. If you look, there were 7 or 8 players within that area. There are not many gaps, and the guy did find the gap, but he was unfortunately standing 3 or 4 yards offside. So good overall team defending there by the Rangers.
Freeman with it now for the home side, back to Clark. Nice give and go between those two. Freeman's pass, though, goes awry. It'll go back to North Carolina.
Yeah, some nice little tight combinations, but at one point they probably needed to switch the point of attack and get out of that area. The longer you stay in there, the more players there are, the less room there is, and it's tough to keep possession in a tight area like that. It's interesting to note when you're watching this game that if you had to guess which team is in 6th position and which team is in 18th, you might reverse these two teams as the way the game's going as of right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Carolina, it's a pretty even game. You wouldn't look at this and say North Carolina's been the better team by any means.
Nope.
I think it's a great sign for the Rangers that, you know, they have an average age today in this lineup of 19.5 years old. The fact they're holding their own against a team, you know, right in the middle of the playoff picture, I think it's a good sign for the future of this team. Foul here. Let's take another look. It's Alexander again. Really got thumped on that one. Tori Penso, the referee today, blew the whistle on that one. I think there's no doubt that was a foul. Still have yet to see a card in this match. Been pretty clean game overall. Again, pretty warm day here in Kansas City, Kansas. Temperature in the upper 80s, heat index in the lower 90s. Probably going to be a hydration break again this half. At least that's the plan. Lindsay, great ball across, and it is tapped in for the home side. And there's the goal this match needed. 58th minute. Wilson Harris gets the goal. He continues his hot streak, his 6th goal of the year.
Oh, just great play there. All started basically by Ayub Alak, who penetrated the midfield. Here he is, and got the ball out to Lindsay. And that is just a fabulous ball behind the back four, in between the back four and the goalkeeper. And there's just a toe poke by Harris, and that's his 6th goal of the season. And like I said, this boy's on his way up because he is right at the right spot at the right time, just like any centre forward should do. But that is a tremendous ball in by Lindsay and a great penetration dribble by Alak.
Boy, Jalen Lindsay, like you said, he made that an easy tap in. I mean, I might have been able to make that, and I have no soccer skill whatsoever. That was, for Wilson Harris, that's one of the easiest goals he'll have in his professional career.
And it's an easy tap in, but that's just the knack of being a forward, which is all about being at the right place at the right time. And if you're getting tap-ins like that, that's because you're there, and give him credit. That is just as good as a 40-yard shot up a 90.
Taking our look at the foul here, looked like
it's a little soft.
Yeah, it looked like very soft. Alexander didn't like it, and it creates a chance for North Carolina to equalize. This is a very dangerous spot for a free kick.
Yeah, we were just talking about it being a contact sport. Well, there was slight contact there. I mean, maybe a little pinky finger.
Maybe nothing.
Maybe nothing.
You never know.
But here's a great opportunity. Put that ball, like I said, just like Lindsay did, behind that back four, in between the four and the goalkeeper, and this could be dangerous.
Good ball across and just wide. Man, a big collision right in front of goal. We have an injured player down for North Carolina. Looked like the goalkeeper Pulskamp may have crashed into him.
Yeah, he took a big whack, but I tell you what, the reason he missed could be because Pulskamp came flying out there.
Oh yeah, hip to hip there.
Yeah, if you don't think that, I think it is Iwola,
yep,
didn't have one eye on the goalkeeper coming at him, that may be enough to put him off and maybe make him miss the target. So great, aggressive goalkeeping there by Pulskamp.
Don't know if that's like a glute injury or if that's a tailbone injury. Definitely not moving around the field very well at this point. Nothing else, we know that hurts.
Yeah, and anything else too, he's not likely to go close to that goalkeeper again after that collision there.
Well, the funny thing is Pulskamp seems totally fine. Like, he is no worse for wear after that. It was certainly the forward for North Carolina that came up on the losing end of that big collision in the box. Well, we have our goal now. It's Wilson Harris in the 58th minute from Jalen Lindsay, and we'll see if maybe North Carolina now going to come out of their shell a little bit with only about half an hour remaining in the match. This could open up and make for a more entertaining brand of soccer here the last 30 minutes. Nice idea there by Kuzain, but a little too far intended for Wilson Harris in the box. But Harris nearly found another scoring chance right after he just scored a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, it's a great ball by Kuzain, but the weight of the pass just a little bit too heavy, but a good run by Harris and a good ball. I think Iwola is having problems here, and we may see him exit the game here.
You give him credit for trying to continue, but you can see that collision really left him hurting after that. And I agree, it looks like there'll have to be a substitution here for North Carolina. Seems like if nothing else, that would be like a deep muscle bruise. That's something that'd be really hard to play through.
It's what we call as a dead leg. I think you guys call it a Charlie horse, but yeah, he took a whacking thump to his gluteus maximus, his backside.
You don't get to say gluteus maximus very often in the broadcast, so I like that you took advantage of that opportunity, Doug.
I wanted to keep it clean and just say backside.
It's good, that's
so
a good choice.
That, yeah.
All right, we'll see if there's an official substitution coming as Wallow going off the far sideline.
Let's go, let's make sure we keep pushing each other. Plenty of time.
It looks like a substitution is probably coming from North Carolina. It has not been made yet, though.
Yeah, see Manny Perez is up and moving around.
Maybe now putting his warm-up top back on. It looks like Awalo's going to try to continue, at least for the moment. A little bit surprised here, but trying to tough it out. For a team that needs a goal here to equalize, you don't want a forward out there that is anything less than 100%, but we'll see how this plays out. See, the Rangers look like they've got an injection of energy after that goal. Of course, that 5 minutes after you score is always a little bit scary, I think, for the fans, because there's a natural tendency to just let down sometimes, relax a little bit. You've been working so hard, you finally got the goal, but the Rangers have survived that first 5 minutes and haven't given away too much to North Carolina.
They've got 27 to 28 minutes of total concentration, total focus on defense here. Cannot afford any errors, and hopefully they can come away with a second clean sheet in 1 week.
Well, that's a really good idea, and Freeman's going to run onto it now. Thinking about a shot at the edge of the box. Freeman cutting it back. Ended up trying a cross, and it was no one on the receiving end for the Rangers. I thought Freeman was going to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, he cut inside, but a great block by the fullback. But what a ball from Felipe Hernandez. He just, it was the old Mahomes no-look pass. He's looking down the line here and just played that big switch across the grain to find Freeman. Unfortunately, Freeman just couldn't get around his defender.
This young team for Swope Park putting together a very good performance against 6th place North Carolina FC this afternoon. For the Rangers, they're in position, still a lot of time remaining, but they're in position for their first win since July 17th. That would be 2 good performances in a row for a very young starting lineup for manager Paulo Nagamura. 0-0 draw in their last game midweek. Chance to get a win here on Saturday afternoon at home.
And we talked about that they don't need the 3 points. They're not fighting for a playoff spot. But what they do need is with the youth playing, they need that experience of winning too. And this is an opportunity with 25 or so minutes left to dig in, knuckle down, and come away with a result against a team that's sitting currently in 6th spot. So this would be an absolutely fantastic victory. Like I said, they don't need the 3 points to do anything with it, but this is for confidence and experience, and they're going to have a job on their hands here coming for 25 minutes, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, where North Carolina, really the only times they've been dangerous today is through set pieces, corner kicks, free kicks we saw a few minutes ago. The Rangers have been great through the run of play defensively. They really haven't allowed anything, but they're going to have to be careful on set pieces here in the last 25 minutes, because that North Carolina's looked very dangerous there tonight.
Absolutely. And we've seen this throughout the season a little bit, and this comes with the youth, a little bit of inexperience. So 20 minutes left, it's got to be a point where they're not making any mental errors. And when you're young and inexperienced, you will make errors. So let's see if some of them have grown throughout this year, and now in this final 20 minutes are to the point where they don't make any silly mental errors that can let the opposition in.
Oh, look at that back heel there by Freeman. Sent across, but diving header to earn the corner kick for the home side. But again, a nice cross there by Alexander into a dangerous spot. And good build-up there by Swope Park Rangers. Kuzane to Hernandez, Freeman. Good stuff there by the home side, leads to a corner kick.
Yeah, great build-up. And Alexander not crosses, as we saw with Lindsay today too. Crosses a beautiful ball in that goes in between that back four and the goalkeeper and curves away from the keeper, which is an absolute nightmare for a keeper. And he's played 3 or 4 of those in today. They've been beautiful. And the goal that we scored was Lindsay's ball into. And so we got 2 fullbacks that are doing extremely well and be involved in this game, that are creating opportunities left, right, and center.
Felipe Hernandez wearing the captain's armband today for the Swope Park Rangers. He'll take this free kick, right-footed in-swinger. Good service, headed out though. Ball still in a dangerous spot. As goalie a little bit slow off his line. Eventually Tabacas comes out to claim it. That's something Hernandez does almost every time. Very good service on those set pieces. Tune in to ESPN3 on September 18th, 7 p.m. Central Time for a potential Eastern Conference playoff preview. One of the league's top defenses, St. Louis FC, welcomes high-powered New York Red Bulls 2 to the Lou. You can see it all September 18th, 7 p.m. Central Time during Wednesday Night Soccer on ESPN3. 22 minutes left here, plus stoppage time.
There was an example. The ball went out of bounds, and it would be easy for Tucker Lepley just to slow down and relax, but he quickly got back into position. And when that throw went in, he was in a position to knock it out and get possession back again. So those are the little things that are going to make a difference here in this last 15, 20 minutes.
Could be a sub coming up momentarily for the Rangers as Tyler Freeman looks to be leaving in favor of Rosenbeck Akhmatov. Substitution not official yet, but that's how they're lining up here on the sideline.
That's an interesting sub because that is a midfielder coming on for a somewhat of a forward. So I don't know if that's going to change formation or whether Akhmatov is just going to come in and play that left midfield position, but he is more of a central player.
Playmaker though, right? He's a guy that could play in Freeman's role potentially if it's a straight swap.
Yeah, he's not as, I hate to say this, he's not as creative as Freeman, but he's a steady Eddie, solid, hard worker. So to close a game down like this, I think it's an excellent choice to make.
You a little surprised North Carolina hasn't made any changes, down a goal with just about 20 minutes left?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd be coming for all 3 points, but I'm not sure if they are. I'm sure we will see some changes, but you're right. Maybe it should have been already done. I don't know.
Let's see the substitution official there. Akhmatov enters for Freeman. That Freeman showed some nice flashes today, especially for just 16 years old. He had a nice game.
Yes, he did very well. Got in behind some defenders today. He had a call for a penalty in the first half, but I thought it was a little soft. But just looking here at the movement when Akhmatov is coming out, and it appears that Kuzain may move maybe into that outside midfield position, and Akhmatov would be staying central alongside Alec. And yeah, it looks like that's what they're doing.
Freeman, I should mention, 17, had a birthday recently, so he's an old man now, 17 years young. Akhmatov will definitely offer some fresh legs to this match.
Yeah, Tyler did very well indeed. 17 or 16-year-old, he did excellent.
Injury, but the play continues here with North Carolina with some danger near the edge of the box. Injured player down for the Swope Park Rangers. That's a lock.
He's holding his hamstring too. That does not look good. He's writhing in pain.
Now play continues. You would think the roadside may just play it out of bounds with the ball far away from goal, but it looks like they're going to continue. Not required to play it out. Obviously not a hit injury, so play will continue. Dangerous ball across. Great chance for North Carolina. A big collision. Foul is given. I think that's the right call there, as Polskamp was plowed into on that cross.
Yeah, there was no way the player was getting to that. He just plowed over Polskamp, so a definite foul. Good call by the referee, but a good opportunity here, and his first touch let him down a little bit, but definite foul.
Man, yeah, Deleuze could have controlled that. That would have been a great chance for the equalizer, and instead he ends up getting called for the foul, and now Alak will finally get the treatment he needs. Like you said, looking at that left leg and the way he's acting, I'd be pretty surprised if he's able to continue, though. We'll see. The timing's actually right. It looks like they'll just bump up that hydration break a couple minutes here. Again, it's a warm day. About half the field now covered in shade, which is nice, but still the goalkeeper for Swope Park Rangers, John Polskamp, staring into a pretty bright sun here at the north end of the field right now. 86 degrees, heat index 92. That's the feels like temperature here at Children's Mercy Park. So still pretty warm, and you know, here in the dying stages of the game, you would think on a hot day fatigue could start to play a factor.
Yeah, I think it will, and I'm just wondering if that was part of that injury too, because I wonder if that might be a muscle cramp and not a hamstring injury.
Alak looks to be moving around pretty normally right now. We'll see if he's able to continue, but doesn't look to be walking with a limp or anything. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL On ESPN through the 2022 season, the USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games each year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games each year on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Thanks to everybody out there today joining us on ESPN Plus, where the Swope Park Rangers on the verge of pulling a pretty big upset here. The Rangers just 3 wins on the year through 26 games, but they have a 1-0 lead here late thanks to a goal in the 58th minute. Wilson Harris, his 6th goal of the year, just 19 years old, but he's really been coming on strong, and you just saw Jalen Lindsay there. A great assist that made it just a tap in for Harris. That's the difference in the game. About 20 minutes or so remaining. Pulskamp going to boot this forward for the home side. And it looks like Alak's going to continue for the Rangers. A little surprised he's actually on the field and not being forced to start on the sideline, but maybe the hydration break factors into that.
That's why the game isn't starting, because the referee's like, oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, there he is. Now he is coming off. So, yeah, he should not have been on the field, and at least not for the moment. So Alak jogging off. He'll have to be off for at least a minute. Not a minute, but at least a couple seconds. Now the goal kick will officially come. Paula Nagamura saying, waving back onto the field, and there is the wave, and Alak comes back into that center back line. Right in front of the center backs, I should say, that holding midfielder role.
So actually, it looks like they've moved Akhmatov to the middle, like you said, and it's not Kuzain who's gone left, it's Hernandez. So Kuzain is still in that kind of number 10 position.
Lindsay heads it out for a corner kick, and Hernandez, when he made his debut with Sporting KC of Portland, he actually did feature in that winger position, which was a little surprise to me, not his natural position, but Peter Vermees and the staff certainly feels like that's somewhere he can play, and a creative player, great left foot. I think it makes sense to try him out there.
Yeah, he can play, and if I remember right, the last win that Swope Park Rangers had, he played right forward in that game too. So yeah, I mean, a player of his ability, he can play anywhere.
North Carolina FC takes the corner kick short. I never understand when teams are so dangerous. Ball headed across, calls for a handball, shot is pushed just wide. It always frustrates me as a fan if my team's doing very well on traditional corner kicks and it's danger, 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 and then you take a short corner, it leads to nothing. Now right there, obviously that did eventually lead to a goal-scoring opportunity, but take another look here as the ball headed across. There were calls for a handball, looked like it was off the shoulder, and then the shot is scuffed. We asked you your strategy as a coach on the marking on the corner kicks. Are you a fan of the short corners, or?
Well, I do like it because you've got to vary your game, and maybe that's what the idea was. You know, you can't always just knock it in long for a corner kick, so varying it is good. And in the end there, they did get the ball in for an opportunity, and quite frankly, I think Christo should have at least put that on target, if not in the back of the net. That was a very, very good opportunity. So when you're looking back at it, yeah, it was a short corner. It got an opportunity, it was just poorly taken. So, yeah, it worked in the end. So mixing it up is a good thing.
Keep your pass with me. I'll take it from you.
I'd be so tempted as a coach to say, like, okay, we have a guy who's good at service, and he can put the ball, you know, 10, 15 feet in front of goal. Yeah. And it's a way more dangerous spot than putting it, you know, by the corner flag. But like you said, I guess you can't be too predictable.
And I do agree with you, because there's this definite advantage.
Good cross by Lindsay. Yeah, nobody there, though.
Yeah, so there's a definite aerial advantage for North Carolina. They've got some taller, bigger boys. And so, yeah, I probably would use that more often. So here we have a sub coming in.
Yeah, Manny Perez. We saw him warming up a few minutes ago. He's going to officially come in now in place of Stephen Miller, one of the best players on North Carolina. Miller checking out 9 goals, 6 assists on the year. Kind of a quiet game today, though, for him here in Kansas City. We see Perez enter there. No goals, 2 assists for him this season. Long ball forward. This could be a chance for the visitors. Ball sent across towards the back post. Now centered, but good recovery defense there by the Rangers. That cross could have been a great goal-scoring opportunity. But credit there defensively as the ball was cut out of a dangerous position. Wilson Harris will be subbing out momentarily for the Rangers, barring a late change of mind. Ethan Vanacore Decker going to be coming in. This score holds up. It'll be Harris with the game-winning goal, his 6th of the year. He checks out now for Vanacore Decker. Vanacore Decker, though, has scored some this year, 3 goals on the season, so you're not losing a ton of offense with him coming on and some fresh legs late. You think that's what Paulo Nagamura is thinking, just some fresh legs, because Harris has had a good game.
100% agree with you. Yeah, Harris has been brilliant, but just to get some fresh legs, to put some pressure on the back four so we're not giving North Carolina all the time on the ball.
Poor ball across, cleared out of danger by Lepley. Now right into the game, Vanacore Decker with a chance to apply some pressure. Rangers now with a chance to get set up defensively. This is where they've been very tough to break down today. Again, almost all the dangerous chances for North Carolina have come on set piece opportunities. Rangers have been very good when they've had time to set up through the run of play. Hernandez, nice job helping out defensively. Stay with North Carolina, though.
A good switch pass there. Unfortunately, Perez wasn't able to bring it down under control and run at the fullback there, so he lost possession. But you've got Perez and Renix coming on. They're 2 more offensively minded players, so there's been a little bit of a change, not necessarily in the formation, but the attitude of North Carolina going after this game now. They've got to at least get a point.
2-on-3 for the Rangers, but they decide to slow it down. Probably the right move in this position with about 10 minutes left. Well, you're always tempted when you have a guy like Hernandez on the ball to push it forward, but probably the smart move to slow it down and just keep possession, but now given away by the Rangers. Just need to survive about 10 minutes in this match. There'll be a little bit of stoppage time, but probably not more than 2 or 3 minutes. Long ball over the top. This could be a chance for the visitors. Ball sent across, and a good cross, but Clark there to clear it out. Good emergency defending.
Excellent defending there, but a fantastic ball in by Austin DeLuz. Tremendous ball in behind the back four, and here's a quick restart taken.
Iwalu sending it across. Good ball in, just barely misses the header there of Christo right in front of goal, and that could have been the equalizer. Good defending by Alexander, who's going to get the call. It goes to the home side. For a guy that's a playmaker, Alexander's been pretty solid defensively today as well.
He's another one that's, definitely had a major plus on this season. There's no question about it. Good strength on the ball and good patience. Excellent job there. But he's down on the floor for some reason.
Rangers just with 1 substitution remaining. And it looked like Hernandez was, or Alexander, it looked like he was fine at the end of the play. You wonder what happened here. Looks like he's grabbing his chest.
Maybe he might have taken an elbow, accidental elbow to the chest or something, but you're right, he got up, he walked away, and then all of a sudden just flopped to the floor.
Trainer going to come out and check it out as Paulo Nagamura continuing to coach, and having someone who's so passionate and such a good leader, it's just crucial for a young team like this. Again, the average age, if you're just tuning in, 19.5 years old today for the Swope Park Rangers, and maybe even a little extra coaching for a guy like Paulo Nagamura with the team this young.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of coaching going on at this level anyway, but when they're this young, there's 10 times more, because these players still have a lot to learn about the game. Just little tiny things that Nagamura's, he's played several years in the MLS, was a fantastic player. These are little things he can give them to help them get through times like this. So yeah, he's constantly coaching lots of information for these young boys.
Saw Alexander grabbing that left pec, but he's on the sideline trying to come back in, still grabbing at his chest. So, yeah, maybe just took a knock there, like a possible handball, but they're going to call that off the shoulder there. Vanacore Decker, ball sent across, cut out. Now, a really bad giveaway, though, by North Carolina. You got to avoid that if they're going to try to find that equalizer here in the dying moments. And there you see Alexander now looks fine. He'll be able to continue, it looks like. Really have to be smart if you're the Rangers defensively. Cannot afford to give away a bad set piece. That's where Carolina has been very dangerous today. We've seen they have no trouble, you know, maybe taking a dive, trying to earn a foul in a dangerous spot on the field. So the Rangers, I think, really need to be careful of that defensively here in the last 10 minutes or so. Christo, danger man there, but Clark able to win the header. Nice job by the Rangers, just possessing the ball, alleviating the pressure, and now maybe a chance to move forward. Good ball by Alexander, who's made it all the way up from his left back spot. Back to Hernandez, wearing the captain's armband today.
This is great play by the Rangers, because not only have they made 15 to 16 passes, they've gone forward, they've come back, they've kept the ball, they've made simple passes, and that's where North Carolina has now got to run around and chase.
That's the last thing they want to do in this heat. Good defense there by the visitors, though. Again, they don't have numbers at all moving this way towards the north end. And Alexander just going to screen the ball, let it roll out, no hurry to take this throw in. Should be a foul there. The call is made. Vanacore Decker dragged down by Guillen.
Hey, how you going in, man? The first guy grabbed.
Seemed to argue the call. That was not this one from my perspective. Like an NFL-style football tackle. You can't believe it.
That's good, man. That's good.
Maybe we missed something, but it looked obvious. But
there's some nice little moves by the Rangers, keeping possession with men sprinting at them. Cave Rad has been very calm with the ball, with guys, you know, if he makes a bad mistake in that situation, it could be a breakaway for North Carolina. He's been very calm on the ball here the last couple minutes. This is a chance for Hernandez. Pass a little bit wide. Hernandez may still try to make something of this here on the edge of the box, playing it back towards the top of the box. Ball chipped in. Still a chance for the home side. Shot deflects for a corner.
Interesting shot by Decker, because he's going back away from goal, off balance. So a tough one to strike. Probably couldn't get enough power on it. But fortunately for him, got a deflection, went for corner kick. So they keep possession. You might see a short play here just to keep the ball.
Hernandez taking his time. Again, no rush for the Rangers on any of these set pieces or throw-ins the rest of the way.
Looks like Carolina getting ready to make another sub, because they're looking a little bit tired.
Lindsay heads it forward into a dangerous spot. Clark unable to win it, though. Now just cleared out of danger by Carolina. No one there on the receiving end. Lepley, Lindsay, back to Lepley. Lepley was looking for Kuzain. Instead, it's handled easily by the goalkeeper, Tambakis. Awalo is going to be coming out for North Carolina. Here at the next dead ball, at least that's what we would anticipate. Caleb Duvernay going to be coming in for the visitors. Duvernay, no goals, 1 assist on the season.
Keep connected. Tighter. Well done, Jalen.
Duvernay's usually a left back, so be interested to see what's going on with this sub here. Looks like he might be moving some players around into different positions, because that's not a like for like.
Good job by Hernandez cutting it out, and that could be a card there. Instead, it's just going to be a foul, I think. No, we're gonna have our first card of the match. No doubt about it, is a vicious challenge there. I don't know how you could argue that, as Perez just plowed in to Alexander. Vicious foul there. Obviously, they need to be desperate to win the ball, but you can see there, stomping on the toe and hitting the trailing leg. Alexander's been taking some punishment here in the second half.
Yeah, definite foul, and definitely painful too.
All right, there's the official sub, Duvernay for Iwalo. Time running short here on the visitors from North Carolina FC. There's not going to be a bunch of stoppage time, so we're probably looking at 4 to 5 total minutes remaining in this game, including stoppage time.
It looks like North Carolina's probably moved to a 4-4-2, with Renix going up top, and Duvernay just coming in at that left midfield position there. Get some fresh legs to go up and down that touchline.
Oh, that should be for the home side, and it is. Great sliding challenge, but now maybe a cramp issue for the Rangers. Looks like Lindsey's fine. Again, working his way back to full fitness after a knee injury has sidelined him for most of this season. Lindsey was expected to feature and compete for a starting spot this year for Sporting KC in Major League Soccer, and now trying to work his way back to 90 minutes fitness here for Swope Park. We're hearing a minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time will be added. We're waiting for that official announcement. Seems like a lot, Doug, although we have had obviously a hydration break, and we've had a couple injuries here in the second half. Still seems 6 is a little surprising for me.
Yeah, it does seem a lot, but I mean, you're right. I remember a couple of injuries, but that's going to be a long 6 to 7 minutes here for Swope Park Rangers. It's important that they keep the ball. It's important that they focus and concentrate on defense and close this game out.
Win would be huge for the home side. Again, they're on a long winless streak. It's been nearly 2 months. Last win for Swope Park Rangers, July 17th. And coming off a draw against Charleston with a very young lineup, an even younger lineup tonight, this would be a huge win for Coach Paulo Nagamura and his squad. Again, you see it there, official. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Chance here for the Rangers, though, to get the nail in the coffin. Here's Hernandez, set up his right-footed shot. The goalie's in the right spot to make a big save. Credit there to Tambakis. Hernandez really struck that well.
How is that freaking not a ball?
Here we have an injury for North Carolina FC, and play continues. We saw North Carolina do the same thing a few minutes ago. Now the Rangers, again, looking for that game-clinching goal. Here's Hernandez. Akhmatov plowed into. Foul is given in a very dangerous spot. Now the referee is going to check on this injury from North Carolina. Let's take a replay at that scoring chance. Hernandez, I always like it when he can set up that right foot.
Yeah, did very well to get inside. That's a really good save by the keeper. Unfortunately, the shot had some venom on it, but it was straight at the keeper.
I was going to say, I think Hernandez would probably like that one again. He had about 3/4 of the net open to work with, and like you said, the shot directed right at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he ended up going for a little bit more power than direction, and he hit it well, but straight at the keeper, and a good save by the goalkeeper. It's going to be a little bit longer than 6 minutes now.
Injured player for North Carolina, DJ Taylor, down seeking treatment. He came on as the second half substitution, but he is down. North Carolina, no substitutions remaining, so Taylor limping off. We'll see if he's going to be able to continue. But if not, North Carolina will have to play down a man the remainder of stoppage time. About 4 minutes remaining, plus maybe a little bit more with this additional injury. Let's take another look at the yellow card here. A little bit of head-to-head. No headbutts, which is good to see. Double yellow card shown to both guys. Referee trying to keep control of this match. Probably smart. You don't want things to get out of hand late. Chance for the Rangers, straight into the wall, though, by Hernandez.
Get up! Wait.
Rangers hoping to keep it in.
Come on, Justin!
Nice ball forward for the home side. Alexander now surveying his options. Wanting to just keep possession, kill off some of the clock.
Caleb, come, Caleb, come.
Good stuff here by the home side.
They're just knocking it around, keeping it, making Carolina do all the running.
Good stuff there by the Rangers. And again, they're in no hurry to take this throw in.
Really, Carolina really hasn't put up much of a fight in the last 10 minutes. It's been a little disappointing for me. I thought they might come out and throw caution to the wind, but they've really not done anything majorly different from what they've done the whole game.
Oh, a little surprising call there. I thought that may have been a dive, as Clark's just laughing about it. Christo certainly threw his body around there, but let's take a look at this, Doug. What do you think? Not much by Clark.
No, I mean, smart play by Christo, I guess, to get the foul, but not much for that.
And Clark was in the way, but didn't really look like he intentionally tried to initiate any contact there.
These are times they've really got to be on the toes here now. One mistake now, and to let them get in the game would be absolutely criminal.
It would be devastating for the home side to give up a goal, at this juncture. They've earned the 3 points. Nothing there for Carolina. Now a 2-on-2 break. Goalie's off his line. Now maybe a 3v2 if the Rangers hurry. Now 4 or 5 men forward against 3 defenders. Oh, and a better service could have been a chance there. Now Swope Park Rangers maybe content just to kill some time off at the corner flag. Hernandez getting swarmed, goes down, ball still in play, the foul is given, no.
How's that our fault? How's that our fault?
It's gonna go back to North Carolina.
Yeah, I think they got called on a dangerous play there. The ball was sitting right between Hernandez's legs, so blow the whistle before he gets whacked.
The Rangers trying to get back defensively after having several men push forward. This could be the last good chance of the match for Carolina. Alexander down again, and the foul is given. That's a big moment. Carolina looked like they were on the verge of a cross into a dangerous spot, and instead it's gonna maybe help kill off this game here as Alexander down. Time wasting a little bit. Speaking of time wasting, another substitution. Nice job by Paulo Nagamura. Lepley comes out after a nice game for the 17-year-old. Rangers going to be making their final substitution here. Mark Segbers, number 43, coming in. And there have been a couple more injuries here, so we did have a minimum of 6 minutes of stoppage time, and make it up to 7 now with that injury we saw during stoppage time. But obviously time getting really close here for North Carolina. They're gonna have to hustle if they're gonna get any more chances in this match. Maybe a minute and a half left in this one at the most. Segbers right into the game, gets a header there to win possession for the home side. Oh, good stuff there. Long ball over the top. Vanacore Decker with some fresh legs running onto it. No one really there with him. He was looking for Segbers on the far post. No one there.
Yeah, it'd be better just to keep that ball and put it back in play. And now there's an opportunity for Carolina, but he better maybe just turn around back and keep that ball, take it towards the corner flag and finish this game off. But fortunately, North Carolina just gave a foul away, so now they've calmed the play down again.
And again, Alexander, what good defending.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a defender, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people maybe think of him as an offensive player, but he's been very good defensively. And again, that one may be the one that really kills off this game here. Can't be more than a few seconds left in this one. Referee Tori Penso looking at her watch. Maybe one last chance for North Carolina to get the ball up the field. Ball headed towards the middle. Good clearance by the Swope Park Rangers defense. Penso now looks at her watch, and that's it. It's the final whistle, and it's a huge win for the Swope Park Rangers. Their first since July 17th. And a deserved win, Doug. I think they obviously came in much lower in the standings, but they were the better team here today, and they deserved the full 3 points.
I don't think there was a question about it. Swope Park Rangers definitely were the best team. They deserve all 3 points, and I'm a little disappointed with the performance from North Carolina. You come in here playing the 18th team in the league, you're number 6, you're in the playoff hunt, and they just didn't seem, I won't say not motivated, but it wasn't a tremendous performance by them, and I think the 3 points are deservedly so for Swope Park Rangers. Very, very good performance.
The young team, average age 19.5 years old today. Starting lineup featured 7 Sporting KC Academy products. And Coach Paulo Nagamura gets a big win and 2nd straight clean sheet. So Swope Park Rangers, you know, the playoffs aren't in the forecast, but they can finish this season strong. That would certainly bode well for the future for the Rangers as well as Sporting KC. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back and wrap things up, take a look at the final stats, and talk a little bit more about this one. It's a big win for Swope Park, 1-0 over North Carolina FC. First win since July 17th. And you are watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+. Welcome back, live inside Children's Mercy Park as the home players, Jalen Lindsay, you see him there, celebrating with the home fans as Swope Park Rangers gets a big win today. 1-0 over 6th place North Carolina FC, a bit of an upset. But Swope Park Rangers, the better team today, their first win since July 17th. It's been a long drought, but now back-to-back results for the Rangers. A home draw against Charleston and then a win tonight, 1-0 over North Carolina FC. And I think, Doug, as we take a look at the stats, I think they'll play out that this was a deserved result for the Swope Park Rangers. More shots, 3 times as many shots on goal. I mean, that's very good performance by the Rangers. And like you said during the broadcast, if you said one of these teams is in 6th place, one's in 18th, you might have thought the Rangers were the 6th place team based on how they played today.
Absolutely, I agree with you. It's a tremendous performance, a great result. They've got a few games left this season. What they need to do now, we talked about them getting better, is to take these last 2 games and now turn them into 4 and 5, 6 games. I know it's the end of the season and points don't count, but today's performance was a tremendous performance. They definitely deserved the win. They created opportunities, and that one opportunity that they needed was clinically finished by Harris. So spot on to them. Great job today.
Big result for the Swope Park Rangers, especially considering the average age today of the starting lineup, 19.5 years old. And the front 3 averaged just over 17 years old today. The youngsters are playing a lot here at the end of the season for the Swope Park Rangers, and they're playing well. Lots of action despite just the 1 goal at the end of the day. It's the Rangers that get it right there, the winner, Jalen Lindsay to Wilson Harris in the 58th minute. And that was enough for the home side. Swope Park Rangers win 1-0 over North Carolina FC. Thanks so much to everyone in the truck. For Doug McCloggin, I'm Dave Borchard saying so long. Swope Park, 1-0 win today. You've been watching USL Soccer here on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.